first 3 drills and our next 3 drills, because we're basically going to do our next 3 drills. Everything that we did in a duck walk position, we're going to pull it up on our feet, but we have to have a real wrestling stance. We have to understand why you have to be in a real wrestling stance. You have to practice and drill so that you can train your brain to train your body so that it stays in this position when you're working here, okay? A wrestling stance is your fighting position. Without it, you're not winning. You know, wrestling, you have to be in a low position, and you're not always in a low position. You can always come up when you make contact. So what we're going to do is we're going to learn how to get this stance down. We're going to learn how to close the gap on a guy by using our hands and using the proper position with your body, okay? The thing we're going to start out with is a lot of guys, I'll start down in their duck walk position. And if you look at the level of my head here, the only thing I'm going to do when I go into my stance, I'm going to bring my elbow out over my knee, so I'm kind of putting everything over top of this center of gravity right here over top of this leg that's straight up and down. Remember, if it was back here, it changes your balance. If it's out here, it changes what you're doing too, and your position, okay? So here in our duck walk position, we're going to bring everything out, elbow over top of the knee, so most of our weight comes over on this side on top of this leg. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to kick my back leg out in that angle in step number 1 in your duck walks, that nice strong angle. So if you look at it, I'm on the inside of the foot where my toe is kind of pointed this way, not directly to the side here, and not straight forward here, okay? When it's straight forward, it brings me up a little bit high. It makes your hips a little bit funny, but when I go here, it opens my hips up so that I can penetrate, do the things that I have to do, and I have really good power by driving off this leg here. Now, from here, if you look at the level of the head, my level, it does not change much at all when I come up into my stance. Here I am in my duck walk position, slide myself out over top of my leg, over top of my knee here, elbow, shoulder, foot, kind of like got a spike going right down through there. My fingers are still together. Now I'm going to kick this leg up here. My level did not change much, very little. Now, the next thing that we want to look at is we want to look at the angle on this leg, okay? Right here is a 90-degree angle. It's not what you want, okay? You want it slightly above a 90-degree. So if you look at this leg going straight from here, let's grab this. If you look at this leg right here, that's what we have. Here's a 90. It's not what you want, okay? This is the angle that we want. It's slightly above a 90. Now, what we want to do is we want to continue this angle with our hand. Our protection hand is what we call it, so that we can protect our lead leg at all times. So now, in this stance, if we look at this angle, I'm going to keep my elbow over top of my knee. The thing is, you don't want to put a whole lot of weight on your knee. You don't really want to have any weight on it at all. You kind of want to put a piece of paper between there, and that's it, okay? If you put a lot of weight on it, now you can't move your legs, all right? So the only time that I put weight on my legs is when I'm back, I'm away from the guy, I'm catching my breath, whatever I'm doing, and I'm here. Now, I can't wrestle like this because I've got too much weight on this leg, too much weight on this arm. It doesn't work. Okay, so I'm going to take the weight off of that. I'm just lifting it slightly. Stick a piece of paper through there, you're good. Now, let's look at the angle of this leg. Look at the angle of this protection hand. The guy has to get underneath it. If he shoots, I can catch front headlock and use my hands. This will protect all of this down here, the lead leg. And if you look at your stance, again, shotgun 1 is always pointing right at my opponent. Okay? So here I am in my stance. I'm going to start down here in my duck walk position. Here, bring my elbow out over top of my knee. I'm going to kick my back leg back. Now, shotgun 1, pointing straight at my opponent. Shotgun 2, straight at my opponent. My elbow is over top of my knee. If my elbow comes back, it changes. Now the guy can get closer to me. I want to keep it out here so I can protect out here. Now, let's look at this angle on the back leg here. It looks really good. The toe, again, it's not pointed out and it's not pointed forward. It's somewhere in the middle. Kind of like how it is when we choke up, switch off, step and drive across. It's not directly to the side. It's not forward. It's somewhere in the middle, okay? So now, when I kick this back leg out, if you look at it, it's about a 45-degree angle. It's not pointed out here. It's not straightforward. It's somewhere right in the middle, which is about a 45-degree. Same thing that you do when you choke up, switch off, step and drive across. You're not going straight to the side. You're not going straight forward. It's somewhere in the middle, about a 45-degree angle. Okay? So now, in our stance, our protection hand is down. If it comes in, the guy can pick your leg up. If it's out here, he can come to the inside and pick it up. If it's back here, he can come in and trap your arm and pick your leg up. So now we want to keep this protection hand down so it protects all this. Now, my other hand is called my feeler hand. If I can touch the guy, if I can feel the guy with this hand, I can take him down. Now the thing here with your feeler hand, which also helps keep your chest square to the guy, and that's what you want the bulldozer blade to keep square to the wall, keep square to your opponent. That's what you want. Now, I can make the adjustments to get the angles that I want by moving it. So now, my other hand, my protection hand, my protection hand here is down, protecting my lead leg always. My other hand is elbow in, not out. It's elbow in, thumbs in, fingers together, slightly in front. If you notice, when I pull this arm back, now the guy can get closer to me, even closer than this arm here, my protection hand. So I'm going to keep this one out here. Now I can protect all this up here. I can close the gap with my stiff arm, my pipe, and I can protect all this down here. So my protection hand is protecting down here. My feeler hand is up here protecting all this, and this is how I'm going to close the gap with this hand.